In 1950, a mathematician asked a question so simple it still haunts us. Not can machines think, but could you even tell? Here's something strange. We have machines now that can write essays, hold conversations, and pass professional exams, and we still can't agree on whether any of them actually think. That's not a new problem. 75 years ago, a British mathematician named Alan Turing looked at the question head-on and realized it might be unanswerable in the form we keep asking it. His move was clever and a little sneaky. Instead of solving the hard question, he tried to replace it with one we could actually run an experiment on. In his 1950 paper, Turing set aside the words "can machines think" almost immediately. He called that question too vague, too tangled in what we even mean by think. So he described a game instead. A human judge exchanges typed messages with two hidden partners, one a person and one a machine, and simply tries to tell which is which. If the machine fools the judge as often as a human would, Turing suggested we might as well stop insisting it isn't thinking. Notice what he did there. He didn't define thinking. He built a test where the definition doesn't matter, only the behavior does. It helps to know that Turing was answering a real fear, not just being philosophical. In 1950, plenty of serious people argued that a machine could never do anything genuinely mind-like, that thought required a soul, or a nervous system, or something no circuit could have. Turing's response was almost democratic. We don't grant each other minds by inspecting the soul, he pointed out. We grant them based on how people behave, how they talk, what they seem to understand. So why hold a machine to a stricter standard than we hold each other to? The imitation game was his way of saying, judge it the way you judge anyone. Give the test its due, because it measures something real. Passing it requires flexible, open-ended conversation, and that turns out to be genuinely hard. You have to track context, handle a joke, admit you don't know something, recover when the topic shifts. For decades, this was completely out of reach, and that failure was informative. The Turing test was less a finish line and more a mirror, showing us how much of ordinary human conversation runs on knowledge and judgment we never bothered to write down. Every time a machine flunked it, we learned something about ourselves. But here's the honest problem. The test measures the judge's confidence, not the machine's mind. It rewards a convincing performance, and a convincing performance and genuine understanding are not the same thing. A system can produce exactly the right words about grief or hunger or the color red without any inner experience of any of them. The philosopher John Searle pressed this with his Chinese room argument. Imagine someone shuffling symbols by a rule book, producing perfect answers in a language they don't understand at all. From the outside, fluent. On the inside, nobody home. The test simply can't see that difference, because it was built to look only at behavior. So when a headline announces that some new model passed the Turing test, slow down. Often it means a short chat fooled some fraction of judges under specific conditions, which is a real result, but a narrow one. And there's a subtler catch worth sitting with. Modern language models are trained on oceans of human writing, so imitating us is close to the exact thing they were optimized to do. Passing a test of human imitation may reveal less about machine consciousness than about how much human text the machine has absorbed. The honest position is not the machines are awake, and not, it's just autocomplete. It's that this particular test was never designed to settle that question, and it doesn't. Real minds seem to involve things the imitation game never touches. There's the felt quality of experience, what it's actually like to taste something or be afraid. There's understanding that's grounded in a body moving through a world, not just in patterns of text. There's the strange fact of caring, of things mattering to you from the inside. A perfect conversational partner could, in principle, have none of that, and the test would wave it right through. This isn't a knock on Turing. He knew he was trading the deep question for a tractable one. The mistake is ours if we forget that a trade was ever made. So what did Turing really give us? Not a detector for consciousness, but a beautifully honest admission that from the outside, we may never be certain about machines or, if we're rigorous, about each other. That uncertainty isn't a failure to fix. It might be the truest part of the whole picture. The test still earns its place because it keeps forcing the harder questions into the open. What is understanding? What is experience? And how would we ever really know? We don't have those answers yet. And a thinker willing to say we don't know clearly, in 1950, is exactly the kind of company worth keeping while we figure it out. Maybe the real test was never for the machines at all, but for us and how carefully we're willing to think. If that's the kind of question you like to sit with, subscribe to Talk to Caleb, and let's keep wondering together. Subscribe to Talk to Caleb.